Well, recently we gave a lot of credit to Rand Paul, a Republican of Kentucky, for being a constitutional hero and standing up against the idea that the U.S. government might be allowed to do drone strikes on U.S. soil against U.S. citizens, even when there is not an imminent threat. That was an outrageous loophole that it's not even a loophole, it's just a right that the government seemed to be claiming. And whenever you asked them about it, whether it was President Obama or Attorney General Eric Holder, they would dance around the issue and they would never clearly answer it. In fact, in a letter to Rand Paul, Attorney General Holder made pretty clear that he believed that they did have that authority. Later, after the 13-hour filibuster, Attorney General Holder backpedaled from that and said, look, if you're talking about a specific imminent threat and specifically using a drone to execute a U.S. citizen on U.S. soil, under all of those circumstances, well, perhaps it might be okay. Or in that particular circumstance, it's not okay, but under other circumstances, God knows whether it's okay. And by the way, they've already executed U.S. citizens, 3 of them. They just weren't on U.S. soil. No trial, no due process. A drone on top of their head. All right, now we have Democratic constitutional heroes. They're also stepping in here. And they listed 5 things, and they sent a letter to the president saying that they are very concerned about. 1, that these drones are and the war on terror has an unbounded geographic scope, meaning that there is no specific battlefield and it could also be applied to the U.S. 2, unidentified high-level officials with authority to approve kill lists. They're saying, look, you've got a kill list and it's got U.S. citizens on it, and we don't even know who's making the decision on that kill list. You've got unidentified high-level officials, and you say, just trust us on it. Well, these Democratic heroes are saying, we don't trust you. You don't have that authority. Number 3, a vaguely defined definition of whether a capture is feasible. Boy, are they right. In the white papers that were released, and that was only leaked through the media, and it's not the official legal justifications, it's a summary of some of the legal justifications. What do we find out? Well, we find out, if we think it's feasible, we might capture them, but there is no standard for what's feasible, so it's just totally up to us. Could we have gotten Christopher Dorner in that cabin? Maybe it was feasible, maybe it wasn't. Soon we might be able to drop a bomb on his head, okay? And by the way, that's exactly what we do in Pakistan and Yemen. We don't even bother trying to get land on the ground except for Osama bin Laden. And that's why I praise the bin Laden capture so much. Not just because we got bin Laden, which was great, but we did it the right way. We landed guys on the ground, we made sure it was him, and we got him. Now, number 4 concern, an overly broad definition of the phrase imminent threat. Well, the memo explains an imminent threat is not a threat that is necessarily imminent. How's that for hilarious? They say it might not be immediate. In other words, it's not an imminent threat. I don't like that guy. I think he might do something later. The capture might not be feasible. Drone on his head. Number 5, the suggestion that killing American citizens and others would be legitimate under the authorization for use of military force and the inherent right to self-defense. They say, hell no, that is not a legitimate way to kill a U.S. citizen. So who are these constitutional heroes? Representative John Conyers, Representative Donna Edwards, Representative Keith Ellison, Raul Grijalva, Rush Holt, Mike Honda, James McGovern, all Democrats, all strong progressives. And here's what they wrote in the letter to Obama. They said they demanded that Obama release in an unclassified form the full legal basis of the executive branch claims in the areas which are the subject of this letter. And that's what we talked about before. And they went as far as saying, now remember, this is a president of their own party, quote, that he was setting a dangerous precedent. And finally they said, he must follow through with his commitment to engage with Congress to ensure that the ways in which we target, detain, prosecute, and kill suspected terrorists are consistent with the commands of our Constitution, including our system of checks and balances. Now look, it takes a little bit more courage to go after a president in your own party. And these true progressives and people who actually care about the Constitution are doing that, and they deserve all the credit in the world, and as much credit certainly as we gave Rand Paul earlier for his good fight on this issue. Now, they're not alone. There's one more constitutional hero, former Bill Clinton Chief of Staff John Podesta. Now, he runs the Center for American Progress now. Look, he's very tied into the establishment. You have to understand that. So for him to step out on this limb is also an act of bravery. And in fact, he spoke very strongly in a Washington Post column that just came out. He said, quote, the Obama administration is wrong to withhold these documents from Congress and the American people. Remember, these are the legal justifications for killing U.S. citizens without a trial and without due process. Now, why does that have to be secret? In fact, Podesta talks about that. First, he says, "This is why I say respectfully, give them up, Mr. President," referring to the legal memos. He says, look, I was chief of staff. I know the tough decisions you got to make. I know that you have to protect operational information, obviously. But he says, quote, protecting technical means, human sources, operational details, and intelligence methods cannot be an excuse for creating secret law to guide our institutions. For a former chief of staff to a president to come out and tell a president in his own party that you are operating under secret law, that is heavy language and well-deserved, by the way. He's absolutely right about it. He continues, in keeping this information from the American people, he is undermining the nation's ability to be a leader on the world stage and is acting in opposition to the democratic principles we hold most important. Again, very strong language, saying, hey, enough is enough. There is no reason in the world why we should have secret law in a democracy like the United States of America. Al-Qaeda gains nothing by knowing what our laws are. We all need to know what our laws are. It is not operational at all, and that is an incredibly weak excuse. There's no reason why it should be classified. Can you imagine if they said, okay, now you're under arrest. Okay, what am I under arrest for? No, it's a secret law. Sorry, we can't tell you. You're going to jail. In this case, they don't even arrest you. They execute you. And they, well, can I get a trial? No, too late. We already executed. There was no trial. But why? What law did you use? Secret law. Podesta concludes, the American people have the right to know the laws they live under. That is 100% right. And President Obama on this issue is 100% wrong. So on this issue, God bless Rand Paul, God bless those 8 progressive Democrats who fought back against the president, God bless John Podesta. These are the people who understand what the United States Constitution stands for.